Matt with Warrior Combat Academy, and I'm here making this video because I want to explain to you guys a little bit about what MMA is, because I think a lot of people, especially in the local community, don't have a grasp on exactly what the sport's all about and even what the rules are. But so, to explain it as simply as possible, MMA stands for Mixed Martial Arts. And mixed martial arts is all about taking every other martial art, boxing, wrestling, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, kickboxing, taekwondo, Muay Thai, taking all these different styles, putting them together, throwing out the techniques that don't work, and keeping the ones that actually do work in a real fight. And so when you're putting all these techniques together, like obviously like straight boxing doesn't work well, because if you just try to punch someone, they can try to take you down to the ground, where they could try to strike you, or they could try to submit you, bend one of your arms the wrong way, choke you, things like that. But if you just try to go to the ground with someone where they can stop your takedown, and you don't know how to strike, then it's not going to end well for you there either. So being a mixed martial artist is all about being able to fight in whatever place that the fight takes place. So the way that we like to break it down is we break it down into 5 facets, okay? So these are the 5 main areas where fighting takes place, and it's kind of going to help you understand a little bit more about the sport. So, hi, Brandon here. So the first facet where every fight starts is on the feet, okay? And this facet is called stand-up. Stand-up is basically all of your striking. So the only time that Brandon and I are touching are when strikes land and things like that, okay? So this is a mixture of kickboxing, boxing, any taekwondo, Muay Thai, any form of striking you can come up with, okay? The next facet of fighting is called the clinch, okay? It's where we're standing, but we have a hold of each other, okay? And when you're inside the clinch, you could have gotten here because like maybe this guy threw like a really big punch and you blocked it and you got inside, okay? Whatever the case may be, or maybe you got hit and you're trying to stop getting hit, so you grabbed a hold of him, okay? Once you're inside the clinch, you can be looking to land strikes, okay? Things like that. Or you can be looking to set up what's the next facet, which is takedowns, okay? So I can be trying to get to superior positioning like this, and then I can look to try to take Brandon down, okay? The third facet is takedowns, all right? So one takedown from here might be when I'm pulling Brandon's hips in towards me, he wants to push his hips away like that, right? So when he pushes his hips away, I drop underneath and then I lift and I can hit a double leg. So I'm gonna take both of his legs, flare them out to the side, and finish my takedown. Okay? But in this third facet, which is takedowns, it doesn't always have to be done from the clinch. It can be done from open range. It could be done against the cage. It could be done almost anywhere, okay? So once you've taken somebody to the ground, okay, so let's say this time I throw Brandon, okay? Once we get to the ground, now we're in our 4th facet of fighting, which is ground and pound. All that ground and pound means is it's basically all of your striking, but where you're on the ground. At least one person's on the ground, okay? Whether I'm kind of standing and I'm trying to strike here, or we're both on the ground, okay, and I'm trying to strike and work here, okay? So once you've ground and pounded somebody a lot of times they'll start opening things up. So like let's say if I was here and I was elbowing Brandon a lot and he starts pushing on my face with this hand, then I'm gonna start looking to submit him. So I put him in, this is called an Americana, it's a shoulder lock. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking Brandon's arm, because you never want to actually do it up here, but just so you guys can see. You're trying to bend his shoulder the wrong way. And when it's down close to his hip, you roll your wrist forward, keep tight chest pressure, start lifting his elbow as you push his hand down, and that's all you need for the tap, okay? This is going to hyper rotate the shoulder and dislocate it and it's going to start tearing all the fabric, if you will, that's holding the shoulder joint together, okay? The glenoid cavity is just going to be ripped to shreds with this technique. And it's very simple to do, it's very easy, and it's all leverage based, right? But submissions come in forms of joint locks, like I just did. Let's say if while I'm here in knee on belly, Brandon starts to turn away from me, okay? Boom, and then I take his back, right? And so from here, I could also, instead of going for a joint lock, let's say this time I go for a choke. This is a rear naked choke, okay? And so chokes are done by wrapping some piece of your body around their neck, or also using, like you could also use their shoulder to plug into their neck as well. So what we're trying to do is cut off the carotid arteries on each side of his neck, okay? It's not about making it so Brandon can't breathe. It's about making it so there's no blood flow getting to the brain, okay? With a good choke, it's only about 6, maybe 7 seconds, and you choke people unconscious, okay? It's very real stuff, and so it's not something to be toyed with, but when you have partners and people who know what they're doing like we do, you can practice stuff all day and stay super safe, okay? But so there's joint locks, choke holds, there's other things that are called like cranks and crushes, but we'll talk about, so like maybe if Brandon's on top of me, okay, one of those chokes I was talking about where you can use their own shoulder or their own arm, okay? So if Brandon like brings an arm up to try to punch me, I'm gonna reach over his shoulder, same thing this side, and what this does is, so when Brandon raises that arm to punch me again, if I just try to block, a lot of times it's gonna come all the way around. But if I reach past his shoulder, his arm guides down mine. Does that make sense? Let's show that once more. So his arm guides all the way down and into my armpit, so I'm safe from the strike, okay? Now, I lock my hands underneath here, and he can't pull his arms out to punch me, right? Go ahead. So he's trying to pull these out, he can't get anywhere. So from here, I'm gonna look to do what's called a triangle choke, okay? So I get to this position here on Brandon, where my legs are making an upside down triangle, and I can finish this choke here, where my leg's cutting off the carotid artery on this side, and his own shoulder is being shoved into the other side carotid artery, okay? It's called a triangle because it makes an upside down triangle. There's a couple different ways you can do it, but this is just a traditional finish, driving your hips up, pinching your knees together, and pulling the head down. I hope this video helped you guys understand a little bit more about what MMA is and what you can do with it. If you have any more questions, feel free to get a hold of us at 231-384-2415, or you could check out our website, www.wcamma.com. That sounded like a lot of W's. wcamma.com, okay? But yeah, if you have any comments on anything you think we left out, or maybe we should have talked more about, leave it in the comment section. But other than that, thanks for watching.